A huge shout out to the overthinkers.
An overthinker. He watches the show.
To the overthinkers, shout out Buffet too.
Keep inspiring the next generation.
Shout out to the overthinkers. Thando kuphela. Much love.
To my overthinkers, mamela ubuchopho ngeke buphume buyakhula nizinja nikhokho yazini as overthink siya overachieve.
I'm stealing that. I've stolen that one. I've stolen it.
Welcome everybody to the Overthinking Football Show. My name is George Bukwena. This, of course, is the Overthinking Football Show, a show that is on every Monday to Thursday at 7 p.m. and then also on Fridays at 12:30, where my members decide the topic. My members tell me what they want to speak about, and we speak about it according to them. Some incredible conversations we've had there, and also just in general on the platform. If you want to watch any of the previous episodes, man, they are available in full on YouTube, where you can watch them back. I can promise you they were amazing conversations that we've had over there. So please do me the favor of following the TikTok page, then subscribing to YouTube. And also, if you want to be part of my members, the breadwinners, the guys that I have a lot of arguments and conversations with on a daily basis, you can do that by going over to YouTube, clicking on subscribe, then clicking on join. 20 Rand a month, you get access to the WhatsApp group. You get to be a breadwinner. You get 24/7. We go back and forth on all types of different topics within football, and they're all available there. Guys, please don't mind my background, man. As the background yami, ifana, just like what London is right now, what England is right now, but let me see who is here. Welcome. And Nkabetsi says, Nkabetsi, we'll get into that one. First, we're going to start off with Mamelodi Sundowns. Mamelodi Sundowns played what some might call a dead rubber game on Saturday at 8 p.m. playing against Chippa United. Chippa United, of course, was sitting number 10th in the league, while Mamelodi Sundowns, as we know, they just carry on winning. In fact, they're so arrogant with the winning that, of course, Rulani came out and said before the match started that he wanted 1,000 passes. 1,000 passes versus Chippa United. And they came out and might as well have done that. They got into the upper 600s, but they were able to score their 2 goals through Omokwena and then through Tashreeq Matthews, and they were able to see out the Chippa United. That means Mamelodi Sundowns has played 17 games. They've won 14 of those games. They've drawn 3 of those games, and they have not lost any games up to this point. Jeez. Huh? Any games up to this point. Sundowns fans, correct me. This is now game number 41, 42, unbeaten. When you put them back to back with the league, that is insane. That is insane. But anyway, that's where we stand with the match. Here are my thoughts. And we're going to get into the derby second round. For those who don't know, on the show, you can call in. And by call in, I mean join me live on TikTok. Then there's a button at the bottom of the screen for those who follow me that says multi-guest. It's got a blue figure hugging a pink figure. And you can request, I let you in, and you can have a conversation with me. I can ask you a couple of questions about whatever the topic is that we're speaking about. So we're going to touch on the derby later, guys. So it's like any other Mamelodi Sundowns game. The one thing I admire about the Sundowns, and I'll say this every single day, is that they have this ability to stay right here. The whole game, they don't move from that place. They don't get desperate. They don't start doing things out of character. They play at a consistent place and at a consistent pace. And it's either you're going to get out of pocket and make a defensive mistake and they'll take advantage, or you're going to attack them and come out of the box and try hit them and then open up for them to score, right? Which is an incredible thing. Another thing that is very, very interesting about the Sundowns team, I say this every week, you will get chances. Chippa United got 3 clear-cut chances in the first half where it was one-on-one. They should have buried them if not for some very bad finishing, right? Every team can cry about that. Every team is saying we could have killed them, we could have gotten the chance. And where I started off saying that, this Sundowns team, it's easy, it's beatable. After 17 games, unbeaten, you have to say, Guti, I guess this is part of the plan. This is also a Sundowns team, surprisingly so, that isn't that strong firepower-wise. They're not coming out and blowing teams off of the pitch with 6-7 goals. Sundowns is coming in and winning by their 1 goal. In fact, one might argue that they don't create chances as often and as easily as they did in seasons gone by. But here they are, sitting, doing something that they've never done in seasons gone by. Another game where Sundowns came out versus Chippa. Chippa had their 3 chances. Chippa had their chance, but then they decided to sit back and they got punished. I think towards the middle of the second half, they were very tired. They were done. They were done for. And Sundowns was just proving to be too much for them. And maybe they just decided, we're not going to do this pound for pound thing that our previous coach, who just so happens to also sit on the bench, was doing pre-Thabo September and Kwanele Kopo. Those 2 coaches. Now they decided to consolidate and maybe sit back and defend. And what is crazy is that this is the weekend where we saw Royal AM beating Cape Town City, for example. Very big games, right? So I want to open up now and we're going to have the discussion, because I think the big question is, how do you beat the Sundowns team? How do you beat them? More than half of the season unbeaten within the league. How do you go out and beat Imamelodi Sundowns? 3 draws. And those 3 draws came against Cape Town City, who had a plan. They just didn't work out all the way. Polokwane City, who maybe met them when they were a little bit tired, a little bit fatigued, so that gave them a little bit of a boost from Polokwane's side. And then Pirates, who basically went toe-to-toe, because Pirates is one of the few teams that can come out and go as strong at Imamelodi Sundowns without necessarily worrying too much about the Sundowns. It might be the only match where Sundowns has to be wary of something happening to them, because Pirates has so much firepower. But otherwise, we've seen 17 teams try. Well, 15 teams have tried. 2 have tried twice. And still, these guys are still unbeaten. This is insane. Guys, I'm going to open up the lines. Please, feel free to jump in and let's have a conversation about Imamelodi Sundowns versus Chippa United. I know, guys, we're going to speak about the derby. We just have to respect everyone, guys, and give everybody a chance. So please remember, you have to be following me in order to jump in order for you to get in so we can speak about what we saw. Very, 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 some might say a boring match versus Chippa United, but I want to hear from you guys. Let me just set one last thing up before I go into my guests who are here. Let me read the comments. Sundowns, it's easy, bruh. I'm Orlando Pirates fans, but Gabriello, it's an easy team on a serious note. Hey, man. Easy team. That's unbeaten. Wow. Guys, look, I'm not a Sundowns fan. I'm a Chiefs fan. But guys, can we put some respect on Sundowns' name, man? I feel like Sundowns is more respected outside of the country than it is inside. Man. Let me go to Lebza. Lebza, welcome to the show. How are you? Hey, Lebza, let me just check something. I can't hear you, but I'm sure everybody else can hear you. I just want to make sure that my devices are working, because I've had some issues here.
That may be terrible, so I'm not.
There we go.
It's you.
No. It was me. I've got you now. Tell me, Lebza, what did you think of the game?
Hey man, there was a portion of the game where the team was playing. I think I counted about 53 passes, like short passes just between the players. And besides the goals, like that's what I wanted to see. I was enjoying that quite a lot. And that was beautiful, man. Like that's the kind of, I know we can't play that at all games. Some games our strategy is gonna have to change, but yeah, that part of the game was just incredible. They were just toying with Chippa United. It was 1-0 at the time, and they just passed the ball around. And I was just loving every minute of that. The confidence on the ball, the ability to just pass in short spaces. The team has been incredible.
But then tell me,
I saw
how
someone
much?
asking.
Okay, no, ask your question. Go ahead.
I saw someone asking if we're gonna have the invincible season. I mean, like, who do you see stopping us? Whom is it that you see and you feel like, yeah, this one will stop Sundowns? Like, I don't see any,
Yeah, the
unless
Cape Town Space, man, lives.
you know that, eh?
Yeah, the Cape Town Space, man, lives.
I said na Pirates, man. I said na Pirates. I said na Pirates. Re deala le di-teaminyana tse ra di beela to the side.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
what I know, Corey, there could be a shock. You know, wa bona agent in twa e bolelang. Chiefs ina le metlholonyana e dirang e o kry ba struggler. Ba ba le a moment in the game mo ba korang in a weird way, and that's it. It becomes 1-0 win for Chiefs, and you get shocked. You're like, what? What? Of all the teams, re bethile ke Chiefs.
Okay. But guys, but stop bringing us into this conversation. But Lebza, I'm gonna come back. There's questions I wanna ask you guys. Let me go to Suffocate. Msafafa, Prasafo. How are you?
Good yourself, Brian.
No, I'm a Nimnandi Prime. Tell me, what did you see from this Mamelodi Sundowns and Chippa United game?
I watched that game. Okay. I don't know. Sundowns is a very song. What they are using. Actually, I don't understand. Their football, like, no, I don't understand football as Sundowns. I want to be honest. If I'm a point. So teams did Sundowns, they did mnati, but they don't have luck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. Cheaper Sundowns, okay. Sundowns usually cheaper. That's good, no problem. But not footballers Sundowns, I can understand. They can do 70-something passes, but I don't understand. Even now, I don't understand or what they are using. Muti or what? But footballers Sundowns, not honestly speaking, I'm an Orlando Pirates fan, and I give sideline any team. But Sundowns, I don't understand football. I wanna, honestly speaking.
Akere chameleon.
No, bruh. Okay, no, it's all right. If I want a chance, I can go Derby. Go Derby. You want something?
Okay, thank you. Malume Kuto, how are you?
Does it still say Malume Kuto?
Hey.
It still says I want to put. No, I wanted to check.
You will always be Malume Kuto here. Oh, Malume Kuto, I can't hear you. Are you still on? I'm gonna come back, Malume Kuto. Kare, there's something wrong, man. Kare, there's something wrong. I'll let you off and then I'll let you back on. Let me go to Agent. Agent, how are you, my brother?
I'm good. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I think Malume Kuto is still having fun from Saturday, but it's fine.
No, he's what you kibo man kibo solo eh.
Utafela ke gona. Malume Kuto network is kicking you.
Kibo solo mona ba tsara ka no ba ipitsa solo.
Hey, Mara, Agent. Hey, your team played versus Chippa. Yeah. Network. But it's fine. Let's carry on, Agent. 17 games, still unbeaten.
Yeah, sometimes I can hear my echo. Is everything fine?
I can hear you fine. Polani, guys, is there an echo somewhere?
Okay.
I'm not hearing those echo.
Okay, Agent, it seems to be you. Go on.
I'll continue. Let me start by saying It was a good game. A, a great weekend, if I can put it that way. I think we saw the biggest derby in Africa. It was very refreshing to see that Africa is big like that. And seeing the greatest derby in Africa getting the respect that it is getting. Just
From the
intriguing,
players.
because yeah, even former players and former coaches, because you saw Abo Mourinho, and others, so it was nice seeing legends of the game coming to see the biggest derby in Africa. What? Can I come there because there's an Aquaman and is this
Okay, let's see. Come back and then we'll see. Xolani, welcome to the show. How are you?
Moraz othi unjani mfethu?
Ngathi angifuni ukukhuluma ngeteam yakho man. Ngathi everybody's getting cut off. Mase sikhuluma nge-Sundowns man.
No, mina Mr. Oti. But what a weekend it was. I mean, from Kali weekend nje we saw and I'm ngifuna nje ukuthi give credit when it's true. Igame enkulu eAfrica. Yeah, Mr. Oti, and goals were scored egameni enkulu eAfrica. Players came through to represent the game.
But ngikhuluma ngedabi siku-Sundowns man.
No. He built up, Mr. Oti. Shout out to Mourinho for recognizing the biggest derby Africa. Shout out to R9 for recognizing the biggest derby Africa. Yeah, namanye aqhamukile along the way, but it was a good weekend for football, Mr. Oti. Coming to Sundowns. Yeah, same old, Mr. Oti. And ngicela ukuthi unike Williams credits, Mr. Oti, ungasho ukuthi Chippa missed ama opportunities. Actually, Ronwen did save us. So it's quality everywhere with Sundowns. Yeah, but mangayena uLodge ovule account yakhe. Who's this guy?
Matthews.
The guy from Cape Town. I got the
Matthews.
Yes. So Matthews, Mr. Oti. So yeah, it was a good game. Unfortunately, we were not able to reach our goal on Sunday. We were not able to make 1,000 passes. I think uRulani kufanele alungise lapha, otherwise uzohamba. Sifuna 1,000 passes. Yeah, so yeah, that's just that, Mr. Oti.
Okay. No, I'm gonna come back. Oh, guys, what's happening? Guys? Okay, let me go to Malums. Let me go to Malums. I'm gonna come back. Malums.
Hola, Chief.
How are you?
No, right, Bukrand.
I'm right. What are you saying about Sundowns versus Chippa United?
Hey, Baba, as always, there's nothing to say. As always, Sundowns is outshining. What's happening is that Sundowns is got a competition with Sundowns.
Okay.
Because apparently in South Africa there is no competition. I'm still waiting for you to acknowledge the fact that it's been a year, Chief, since we lost. It's been a year since we lost a league match. But more so, you know what made a victory against Chippa so sweet was statements made during AFCON. Tina, as Sundowns fan, we were revenging statements that were being made during AFCON, where certain people were favoring certain countries. I'm not going to mention who, but they know themselves. And right now, I think Sundowns was dishing out revenge to say, if we are a South African, and you go and say Ezos into Ezo about South Africans, we'll deal with you traditionally. So Saturday, it was a sweet moment for the Sundowns, and I'm happy for it. Happy, I so wish to go to it. Chiefs in Paris. I know you don't want us to go to Chiefs in Paris yet, but you guys can join us and say Sundowns. You dish revenge for the country, But in any way, my brother, I was happy about the game yesterday, and what a game! It was
Okay.
a good game, and I like the fact that now it's Sundowns. You put anyone on the field, the performance is going to be the same. I'm happy for Matthews. I'm happy for Ross. I'm happy for everyone. But I want to come back at some stage and talk about, I won't mention who, but people who are not to be mentioned according to their hosts. Which don't mention Chiefs and Pirates game, but I will come back to those later. But anyway, thanks, my brother. Thank you.
No, thank you so much, Malooms. Man, we're gonna talk about the derby, guys. We're gonna talk about the derby. I just don't want us to get sidetracked. Malume Kuto, are you back proper now?
Hayi ngimnandi Mr. OT unless if bazongihlokoloza badisturb isignal yami mina ngimnandi. So
Phela
no ngimnandi
wena you're not in Abuti here. Malume washo in.
no but angla I'll request again. They must try again. I'll be here.
Tell me, Malume Kuto, Sundowns Chippa.
Angifuni ukuba njani Mr. OT. You asked a question on Friday about relevance. Buga, the same people will keep referring to that game, but they said it's irrelevant. Anyway, a boring game, if you're being honest. Very good for TikTok. You know, like Big Brother Africa. You can't watch the entire show. When you watch the entire Big Brother, ungalala uvuke ulale. But when you watch it on TikTok, you see those moments. Now wanashaya umunye ngempama, athela umunye ngotshwala. It's nice on TikTok. When we watched it, they bora the game. Let's not forget. Even if bafuna ukushaya 1000 passes ayibadlala amanga. Bekhona lo khona manebe likhona labathi suffocate. Suffocate actually iqiniso but sonke in the country asiya understand le nto abayidlalayo. Even Mr. OT has decided to say bayenza ngamabomu ukudlala into ebhorayo. Because uyabona Sundowns yabhora. Noma bangaliphasa bathini Mr. OT Sundowns yakhinya. We try and try. How we should game Sundowns we end up asking for the other team to do something because uyabona ukuthi Sundowns not going to move from the strategy and we can learn a lot from Sundowns Mr. OT and wonke ama content creators I feel they can learn a lot from me sometimes. In the sense of fake it until you make it. You can benefit from 7 games in a row. But people will forget and say you are 42 games unbeaten. So, Mr. OT, I would say, let's buy viewers. Start let's go 1 million views. One day, people will forget, will not ask Uti Ganjan. We know we were here when Sundowns were winning the first 7 games of the season. It's a question anjalo. But right now, it's 42 unbeaten. But it's fine, Mr. OT. Abashai 1000 passes. Simele second topic. Iqala ko mang issue ya derby Mr. OT.
Iqala ka 9. Ka 8 sorry, ka 8. Ka 8.
Ka 8. Are we gonna touch on the tournament derby? There's a tournament derby tomorrow. You know that.
We're gonna. I think I'm gonna be doing a watch along for that tomorrow.
All right, I think I'm still in the queue. Thank you.
Hey Mara. Hey Kumo. I get every day wa golata mutho.
Ay, Lwena go blame. Why do you keep on getting strays for our Sundowns commentary? We are more than enough. We do all the suffocate, babu to kuto, network, la molela, still over who's happy. Foying. Like, why would you call Sundowns boring? Because we saw the derby, like it was the first time. Actually, no. Sorry, you're so.
Hey, who do Rohakana? Yeah, Mara Gubo.
Guys. Now I see why people have a problem with Sundowns. So Sundowns you trap on Hanoboloi. Sundowns you have it, guys. Sundowns it over no confused or what's happening. The thing is like Sundowns is a team that is not easy for small minds to comprehend. Yeah. I mean like you saw us passing, beautiful passes, defense splitting passes, ne? If not for our strikers being wasteful, in Kelly a different scoreline. Chippa got off easy. So I wouldn't like, Sundowns is a lot of things. On Kalwan, you can call us and say that we use Bululu. Mara boring. You guys, you need to. Well, I'm glad like you're starting to use new adjectives. even though they are wrong, but at least your vocabulary has improved. I want something to the word box. But anyway, guys, I wanna imagine being a cheaper the whole time overtaking trainer ke our people lo ha fetsa fela mo benching ho tla bo Tashi ho tla bo Seringo ho tla bo Thembazwani after dealing le bo Locho and Sundowns this team of mine, it's not nice, man. This team has quality. And Wawana, like going forward, remember like we used to score Gabu 2-0 or 1-0 or instead of like scoring 6-0. I think we're gonna go back to our thing because of the personnel that we have, the unity that we have, the style of play that we have, you know. Sure, no, guys, honestly, like I see Rulani's vision and I'm happy that the people that came on. You know, when people normally start, especially coming from different continents, guys. How many of you guys can say that about your teams? You know, it's
Mine
like coming
can.
into-
Mine can.
Kan need. One tshwaranyana. Big team mentality. You know, coming into this unknown league, coming from as a foreign player who hardly speaks the English language, you know, you have to get translators to gel as if like you've been part of this team for a long time. And the other thing that I noticed, Tore, there's a future beyond Thembazwani because for the longest of time we were told Sundowns to get Thembazwani and you can't do anything about it. We see a lead in Mokwe now. Zungu, oh my word, he was exceptional as well. Wankalohanya, the pass that he led to the goal, Elia Tashik, was phenomenal, guys. Here in Sundowns, are we happy, Shem? We really are happy. I don't know what to say. Chippa, Bamulaile Lagos, Agrena, no busy no body no boali, Bamulaile, oh, I hope Chippa gets relegated. Yo, I'm happy. This team, like, okay, sure.
Okay, aye man, and I don't come for Nigeria's very old Chippa United. Agent, you had a bit of an echo first time round. Is it better now?
I want to assume so.
Okay.
Yeah, that's better. Yes, that's better because I must deal with people from Soweto. I think I must come back for the derby also. I'm busy, but I must come back for the derby. You know, because these people, if you don't deal with them, they become arrogant like this. One good game in Yana, they speak like this. One good game in Yana, But it's fine. Let me go to Sundowns. Excuse me. I was going to go to the game. You know, usually I try and analyze each individual, but I think for like my brother Suffocate was saying, he doesn't understand Sundowns, so maybe I should go to the tactics of it a bit, you know. Abuti Kutu, I know, and like I said, he's a beta X, you know, so I'm not gonna pay much attention to him. I think Urulani summed up something that most people have been asking: why is Sundowns not a high-scoring team? You know, like it used to be. You know, because what used to happen is you'd want to score as many goals as possible, right? But to score goals and to create chances, that takes a lot of energy and effort. Now, when you're at Sundowns, or when you're Sundowns in the current format, you have so many games, right? So why get out of gear 2 when you have won the game in gear 1? You know, I think even if a team scores, you're able to find 2, 3, 4 gears and come and attack. Like we saw with TS Galaxy, they were 2-0 up, we're able to step up 2, 3, 4 gears up, you know? And Oko Shugalan on his interview, he said we should be like a reptile, you know, like wait for the right moment. You know, a cobra, you know, waits for the right moment, then it splits its poison, you know. It doesn't split poison every day, every time, you know, it just waits for the right moment, you know. So I think that is us now. So, and I keep going back to this, that in football in general, the most important thing is creating enough space for you to get as, how can I put this? For you to get as clear cut of a opportunity as possible, you know. Some people defend deep, so that the team can come to them and then they can do route one and get the space behind, you know. So with Sundowns, with our football, we're killing two birds with one stone. We tire you out with the passes, you know, because chasing the ball is very tiring, you know. Hence, teams after 60, 70th minute are very tired. So the first objective will get you tired, you know. Hence, Sundowns is not always worried about scoring first in first 20 minutes because we know 60, 70th minute, we bring in quality players, fast players, we're going to score, you know. But the second objective of also going sideways, going to the front, and then at the right moment picking a pass through the channel is we make you sleep, you know. We give you a sense force of security that these people are going to pass the ball at the back, and then out of nowhere you put it there because there's enough space and the players are not technically switched on, because it's difficult to be technically switched on when a team is passing like that, you know.
Okay.
And then thirdly is to create space, you know. So when you create space, by the moment you press us, that's the moment we attack you, because that's where the spaces start to show up, you know. But so that is another way of explaining the Sundowns way. So be mindful of why we do this lot of passes, you know. So I was just putting down.
Is it an overcorrection from that game? Because for me, it feels as though that game showed Rulani things and he's overcorrected, but it's still a very risky system, would you say?
High risk, high reward. You know, like I said, it's easy for us because I was at the Wydad game. You know, like I said, the entire stadium, like, you know, where I usually see this analyst behind, we're shouting at the analyst, and there's no glass there. We're shouting that, put on defenders, you know. And Duglani comes out and says, you know, he wants us Sundowns to win CAF the right way, and, you know, you have to play good to win, you know. But I think after much reflection, it's like, hey, man, because that defeat hurt, you know, very much, you know. I think he learned that, you know, it's not the win necessarily, the margin that you win by, is can you win? That's the bottom line, you know. So I think he's also preparing himself for a stage where in CAF there's small margins and you need to defend. And most of the times we defend with the ball. That is the best way of defending with the ball. So I think it is a good strategy. And I think, like I said, sometimes we must learn to give credit when it's due. I think every time I say this, I'm going to give credit to you that you saw this on the second or third game that most of us even didn't see that Sundowns is preparing for CAF, you know. And I think AFL was a typical example of what we've been trying to achieve. So I hope that it translates to CAF also, you know.
Okay.
Oh, wait, one second.
Quickly.
No, I just remembered, man. Hey, you see this thing, I wanted to address important things. People have been benefiting, some have many trophies. We have even forgot that they got those trophies by benefiting. So leave our 7 games that we won by benefiting alone. Some have trophies for those and for those benefits.
I benefited and I have no shame.
Okay, let me go to Prasamo. Guys, for the next part, can you please be a little bit quicker with the answers? And be nice, guys. Kupa, remain nice.
Just do it nice. Just be a gentleman.
Prasamo, I want to ask you 2 questions. Number 1, how much of these wins are Sundowns? Guti Sundowns was just that much better than the team Tsetering. And how much is it that the other teams are not standing up to Sundowns, number 1? And are we seeing Abu Temba's one, Abu Shalulile, man, is the clock running for them? Because Kibao Ribeiro, Kibao Bukwena, they're stepping up, Bo Matthews are coming in, Bo Martinez.
Okay. Firstly, look at Sundown. Look at lineup. Sundowns lineup. I'm talking about maybe 9 foreigners. I'm serious. 9 foreigners. Martinez, Shalulile,
Serino, Ribeiro. Well, Serino is South African.
Serino is South African.
Yeah, it's naturalized. He's naturalized now.
All right. So I failed there. I failed there. Ke a failure mo I can understand ke tlhaloganya gona mo. Because 9 players, foreigners, 9. Okay. Re ke tswe mo yona e. All right. Sundowns. Sundowns is just, I don't know why my team Orlando Pirates, I don't know why my team Orlando Pirates, Basa Tshware this team like my bet is strong. I have a problem. We have everything. We have everything as Orlando Pirates. We have everything. You know, we can compete against Sundowns. We can beat them 5-0, 3-0, whatever score it is. But Siakala. I'm trying to be nice. Try one nice. Sundowns, yes, yeah, sharper, but I'm still saying I don't understand their football. Even now, I'm still saying that I don't understand football. Yabona. I don't understand it.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, Tolani, do you wanna clear up the foreigner issue, baby?
Nah, Mr. OT, maybe ngelinye ilanga. I think izodla isikhathi sami.
Okay. Tell me, I've got 2 questions for Tolani.
But
okay,
to be quick,
quickly,
Mr.
quickly.
OT, I think Esquivel ungena espacing sa this guy from Ethiopia.
Oh, yeah. What's his name?
Am I still audible?
Yeah. Oh, Nazir. There we go.
Nazir. Yes. And there's also another guy, Olimele, of which is still treating his injury naye uvula space lapha. And also Ulunga is also usene citizenship now because he's been like more than 5 years at South Africa. So that's why.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll say Varda. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
And also, Mr. Otsi, I think if Usa forgets he doesn't understand the system of Sundowns, I think Urulani is doing his job because that's the aim, well. The opponent mustn't understand.
But for time, for time, I'm going to ask you the 2 questions. How much of this is Sundowns being incredible, and how much of it is other teams not coming up? And then the second question, Tembazwane, Shalulile, Onyango has already moved out of the team. Is the time ticking for some of these older players there, Sundowns?
Yeah, Mr. Oti, the time is ticking. Hence, we're trying our best ukuthi sifake ama-players anjengo Tariq. Usangizwa Oti?
Yeah, no, I can still hear. No, I'm calling.
I'm struggling mina ngala.
Okay, Kolani, for time's sake, I'm going to take you off just to get through the others. Then we're going to move into the next topic. Malums, are you with me?
Yes, Chief.
Malums, 2 questions. How much of this is Sundowns being incredible, and how much of this is our team not stepping up? That's the first question. And then number 2, is time ticking for our Tembazwane Nabo Shalulile?
Yeah, Chief, I think your Temazano Shalulile, I don't think there's time ticking or anything to worry about in terms of Sundowns, or because you have to understand, look at Usaulile, for instance. The guy has been going through some sort of a bad spell lately with no scoring. And I think that's where comradeship Sundowns kicked in, and the brother to say, let's have this guy. But I don't think there's anything to worry about. And you have to understand, his system of Sundowns is that where you hand over the reins. Uzwane, yes, maybe in a few seasons, or maybe a coach has realized Uzwane is time he must start handing over the reins so that there's going to be that smooth transition from Uzwane. It might be that the reason why we brought in Uloch is because of we want someone to take over from Uzwane when it comes. You understand? And I just want to go back quickly to the issue here and foreigners. If you look at this guy sithe Chippa Uzuko, and that guy was known but not that known a season or two back. And but because Uguti now he's associated with Sundowns, the guy has blown. So I don't understand why the guys are catching feelings when Sundowns go out, because when Sundowns buys players locally, everybody is catching feelings. And when Sundowns goes and buy players internationally, and again everybody is catching feelings. Now I don't know where. And then you've got people complaining still about the style of Sundowns, that we don't understand the style of Sundowns. Remember, I think for me, it's supposed to be the credit to the technical team and the coach to say, his style saying is so. If you understand, if I can put it like this, you see, Coke has been in existence for more than 50 years, and even now nobody can replicate a recipe of Coke, because why? It's a closely guarded secret. That's why they are successful as a business, because a recipe about they are guarding it. Yeah, okay. So maybe it's Sundowns. I think now. Yeah, the guys who just take it like that, put in there. That chameleon style of football, where you change, you don't know what are they gonna do today. That is a secret that they are using in terms of winning the games. And I think for me, it's exciting like that. It's exciting because when I watched EW over the weekend, I predicted, I could see exactly what it's gonna be. Ras. They run to this side of the field, and then they run to the other side of the field. Nothing in between. So derby for me has become so predictable that I know exactly what's going to happen in that 90 minutes. But bringing the Sundowns, you will never know what's going to happen. You will never know what is going to be their style of play. So I think, one, Ozwane, Osaulile, nothing to worry about. Yes, a transition is something that needs to be prepared for in any team so that we can maintain this. You understand? And mind, do you have understand? We are looking at the bigger fishes to fry. We've got the Club World Cup coming. We've got the CAF coming. So we want to prepare everyone. And I don't feel anything to say because there are those guys about Fona who fagger a bad vibe to say, no, we've got 200 players sitting on the stands and you said wara wara. But you have to understand, we are now, as I said before, Chief, in Sundowns now, there is no competition locally for Sundowns. Now, that means that Sundowns have to go and try and get competition somewhere. Now, they have tried and devised a way to have competition amongst themselves because there's nobody who's challenging them. Now, we're looking at, if you remember, ITV Mazembe was once a feared club. If you remember, Alahi was once a feared club. If you're talking about Alahi in South Africa, everybody will be trembling. But right now, Sundowns have managed to bring all those clubs down to their knees to say, when you come to this country, you must know there's a 99.9 chance that you're going to lose. So I think that is credit to the style of football that Sundowns is playing, because if you put the Pirates against Israel,
I'm going to just ask you for the last point there.
They lose. But if you put the Sundowns against Alahi with their... Yeah. Sorry, Chief, I forgot about the last one. Sorry, man. Sorry, I got
okay.
The last one,
I think there's time. I'm going to call time there. Let me go to Kumo. Oh, just to clarify, thank you. I think people are asking about the foreigner thing because there is a 5 foreigner limit, if I'm not mistaken, 5 foreigner limit within the league. But I believe what Sundowns is doing is doing the registrations. So you can only register 5, but because Sundowns has so many other games elsewhere, there's no limit as long as you've registered properly or you've played the cards. Like Cirino is naturalized now, so he doesn't count. Things like that. I think people are just worried about that side of it. But yeah, let me go to Kumo.
Okay.
Sundowns has played some games to, let me see who made the comment. Kaizer makes the comment that Sundowns has played with one defender in some games, or one recognized defender in some games. Some games there's no defenders. How much of Sundowns' run is down to Sundowns being brilliant, and how much is it down to other teams just not stepping up in maybe a tactical sense? Number one, and then number two, are we seeing the last bit of Tembazwane in Shalulile? I mean, the replacements have been doing so well. Abo Ribeiro, Bo Martinez, You know, Lodge is also there now. Is it maybe time for them to go into the Dennis Onyango years?
100%. It's Sundowns tactics. That's why we are winning. Ne? We see, as much as we can hate Sundowns and make fun of Sundowns, but at least you have to respect us.
Yeah.
Respect Rolani technical team. Respect the players that are brought in to actually make a difference. And you can see, because you can see how they play, you can see how they pass, you can see how they defend, you can see how they attack. The unity, the awareness, tactically, you know, creativity is there. And I mean, as much as you said we won a plastic cup, but we were playing against the best in Africa. We played against dynasties.
Maruskariyu, Marakum, Uskariyu.
My chummy. Okay, sharp. So,
Hey, but then they're gonna say I'm going. Hey, you hate Sundowns.
Yeah, Mara, we know you do. I get it. You're just trying to be politically correct in your own way. Nah, okay, sorry. Your fan base hates Sundowns for no reason. And the only reason that we know why people hate Sundowns is because they wish their teams could be more like Sundowns. I mean, like, you could see the hate is so deep. Like, when Bafana loses, they're like, yeah, Sundowns players. But when Bafana wins, it's Bafana. There's no clapism. You know how they get most the hypocrisy. It's loud and it's always on display. But we're not there, ne? My guy, Sundowns. I mean, like, if it was due to individual brilliance, but then again, everyone on our team is brilliant on its own. We don't have to play like that. And people have been saying when Motsepe got Sundowns, money come by success, right? When money sharp, it was bought to bring in stars and maybe high wages. Then we started winning. They were like saying, nah, Motsepe is killing African football by buying all the best stars locally. There are overseas, then they say in case those overseas players who are farmers and painters in their countries. Kore, with Sundowns, if you have to listen to what these fans are saying, because clearly we can't win. We will never win that perception. Mara, honestly, our technical abilities, our coaches are doing a great thing. And if we lose, we're gonna admit, okay, fine, we were not the best in this game. I can't remember when we last lost, actually. I don't know why I'm saying lose. When we draw, let me just draw. So yeah, so Sundowns winning, it's all up to us. There's no snake, whatever. You know what motivates Sundowns players besides unity, actually loving each other? Money, because they know when you win this Q1, when you win this trophy, the money will be allocated and be shared. It's their bonuses. Obviously, if you are properly incentivized, you're gonna want to play for the badge. Yeah, that was my first point. Second point again.
I wanted to ask Tembas One and Sharilile, is it almost time for that Dennis Onyango role with the players that you guys have brought in?
Yes, and that is why we are so successful. At some point, Dennis Onyango was the best in Africa. But we understand anatomy and life creeps on us. Meaning, these people can be playing until they are 40. So we have to make provisions, we need to get quality young people that can actually carry us the way Dennis Onyango did for many years. And hence why they brought in Rowan Williams. I understand he's 32 this year, Mara, he's a goalkeeper, so which means he's got at least another 8 more seasons in him if he maintains his body in mental physique and stuff like that. And as much as we love Tembazwani, there have been so many legends before him, and we understand that can't be playing forever, hence why we had to replace him with other quality young player. There's gonna be a point as much as we brought in Lodge and they think he's our natural replacement player for Lodge, for Temba, he's also old. That is why for now for Peter Shalulile. Peter is going through a lot, but we know what he can do when he gets going. And we're still gonna have him. As much as he's going through a drought, we don't have a lot of recognized strikers. Scorer, we have a lot of attacking midfielders, Lebo Falls 9. Mara Peter is still going to be there. And even if he was in red hot form, we still have to get his understudy to take us more. Because besides them aging out, we play a lot of games, guys. We play a lot of tournaments. We literally play in every tournament available on Africa.
Almost every 3 days.
We are the only we are the only team globally that has a lot of games. I stand corrected. Well, like no other team, I think, plays a lot of games the way Sundowns plays. So obviously, we're gonna have to get quality players that can replicate. And I wanna, if Peter or Tempa Zwane is not playing, the void should not be felt. So that's the magic of Sundowns, or it ties into your questions on why we've got such quality players.
I gave you a layup. Baraka basketball, it's a layup. Let me go to Agent. Agent, same two questions to you. How much of this is Sundowns and how much of this is teams not coming tactically prepared? And it's not to say that they would beat Sundowns, but I'd imagine that they have the same hours as Rulani in a day, the same hours as the staff, technical team. Surely Planinyana could come out of that. And then number two, Tembazwane, Shalulile, and all those guys. Not to say that they're old, not to say that all of that stuff, but it seems as though their replacements, well, not replacements, players that have been brought in are there that are doing very well. And maybe it's Dennis Onyango time.
I'm not going to answer the question as much as I would love to, because I see that we have 4 minutes before we move to the next section. And I still need to deal with Soweto fans, so I'll be a bit brief. So with the last question, man, I think death and birth, teenagehood, death, it's a cycle of life, that's how life is. We go through a process, and everyone has to go through it. Even the young man at some point, he's gonna reach the Zwane age and he'll be phased out, And I think what used to make Chiefs great, and I'm not just saying Chiefs, I think because Chiefs is the easiest example that I can give because of recent times. You knew that Jabu Matlango, Jabu Pule, Soweto players and changing that same name. What was wrong with you guys? But anyways, Jabu Pule, you knew when he was going out, you had a junior Kanye coming in. I can go on and on. Like, it was always a continuous process that this player is going out and that's coming in. This player is going out and that's coming in, So that's what big teams do. When Chiefs was a big team, I mean, on the football side, that's what they used to do. They phase out old players out and bring young talent in so that they can be continued success. One thing that killed the golden generation of Germany. You saw what happened after Germany. They had a golden generation. It won things sharp, but they couldn't. They didn't have the foresight to regenerate the new generation while the old one is still strong. So I think that's what is happening with Sundowns. And Barcelona's also, they didn't develop a younger Messi when Messi was still at his peak, So I think it's a lesson that you have learned. I think it's the importance of having a sporting director who knows his stuff. Fleming has been in Europe, has seen all kinds of things, I think I'm forgetting Ntombela. He's been around for the longest of times. He's seen the rise and fall of Chiefs and others. So I think having that kind of experience on the football side helps a lot, So yeah. And then on your first question, it's a combination of both, I guess. I think, like I said, sometimes I feel like it's like being born, being told that, hey, your father is a celebrity, he's a star. When you go around, people are taking photos with him. To you, he's your father, man. He's the one that walks with the towel with the camber out every time, So I think that is the situation with Sundowns, that maybe we don't see that greatness because of the close proximity that we have with them, I think they're just way, 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 way or where we have so many levels between them and the PSL side, you know. And I can even argue that the levels that they've reached in terms of playing football is a bit one or two ahead of teams like Al Ahly, you know, which is the best team in Africa, you know. So you can imagine the gap, you know. So I think it comes down to also saying there's a huge gap, you know. And then also, again, it comes to tactics, you know. If I was a coach, in as much as I would be practicing defense, I would practice finishing. That guys will get a chance. You get a chance, we finish it, you know. And one thing about Sundowns is if they score first, the game is over. That's the one thing. So you need to score first, you know. And when you score first and you're defending, they can be a bit frustrated because they know that 1-0 down, you know. So you get a chance. And to be fair, I think if you could put Sundowns the first 10 minutes under pressure, get a goal and sit back for 80 minutes, that is better because you know the least you can get is a draw, you know, and they're going to become desperate and you can hit them on the counter, you know. But lastly, 1 minute, I'm sorry that I have to go 1 minute over. I think you explained the quarter thingy, but I wanted to say there's a show called Everybody Hates Chris. Everybody Hates Sundowns. You know, you can never win with Sundowns, like Kum was saying. The thing is, Sundowns, when it goes out, yes, it all has its misses, but its hits are more than its misses. When they go out and get a foreigner, they get quality foreigners, you know? Chiefs goes out and get someone, you're like, hey, what is this now, you know? So I think that's the difference. I think that's why maybe fans that ask coaches, man, you guys looks like you have so many foreigners, man. Because the foreigners that come in, they make an impact. Who's gonna remember the Zimbabweans that you guys buy one, get one free, you know, that you used to have? You know, so I think that is the issue again, you know, but I'll leave it there for now. You know, the only team, even though because of one winning, they are misbehaving, the only team that I can say always, from as long as I can remember, 90% or 95% of that squad is SA based, is Orlando Pirates.
Yeah,
and that's the
tradition.
credit. Yeah, but the question also is, what kind of players are you having? In as much as our squad maybe has 7 foreigners, our national team still has more Sundowns players. But there's a question of. But anyways, let me leave it there.
Hey, you wanna start things before you leave, Bara Agent, but it's fine. Okay, guys. All I will say to close it off for me is that I think Sundowns is a very good team, and I think I am growing to say that I should maybe take them a bit more seriously. My worry about the league is that when it's 42 games, whether by hook or by crook, however people say it's this or that, Oksala, they've won all those games. And when a team starts winning, even when lakinyana, people can't get a win, then you start going, Mara guys, is it about the Sundowns or is it also about our teams? You know, we argue a lot whenever we watch Sundowns because we always go, what? Guys, you can't also be coming every press conference and saying, that Sundowns was so surprising. You're a coach. You know, you do this for a living. It's your job. So at least put up some fight, you know, and take it from there. But yeah, anyway, I think we can go into the derby. I'll just lay the table briefly before I let everybody in. I enjoyed this game from the moment I saw the starting lineups. And let me tell you why. The past few weeks, the past few months that people have been watching this show, I'm sure, you'll hear me say one thing. But Kevin Johnson, you know the weaknesses of your team. You should know the weaknesses of your players. And at times, you should be moving and changing them so that you can get the best out of some of them, or maybe come in for this game where you've actually done research. You can see research was done, a consideration was given, you thought about it. Jose Rivero, we said the same thing. Jose, you've got an incredible squad. How come you can't set up this squad to do certain things, especially in attack, to be more aggressive, to be more prepared, where you see the plan. And from the starting lineups, you could see, man, there's something different. You look at Chiefs. There's a reason why Kwinika was moved. There's a reason. We had been speaking the whole week about what? Mfukeng is going to face Kwinika, and if Kwinika and Mfukeng look at each other like this in the eyes, something's going to happen. So we moved him. Was it successful? I don't know. You can't tell. But it was a plan that he came with. You could tell that in bringing in Tanzani, you were basically understanding that I don't have a midfield that plays the ball. So when I've got this midfield, when I've got this team of mine, the moment we play the ball out, I need someone who doesn't need to hold the ball a lot. Tanzani was perfect. Didn't need to hold the ball a lot, made the right choices when the ball came to him. Boom, we've got 2 goals on the counter. Our counter looked a little bit more structured, a tiny bit more structured. I'll get into the wrongs just now, right? You look at Ribeiro. Ribeiro came into this game and he was like, what? Umayele didn't look that good on the day, the last game that they played. Umunyane on the other side was also very, not weak, but he wasn't in the game. So obviously, Chiefs is a wing playing team most of the time. I need to make sure that is strong. Took both those players out. He also saw Lento Besikuluma Uguti Nangu Kwinika on the right-hand side of Chiefs' defense. How do you attack? And what did they do? They overloaded that side. Frosla was being attacked by Mfukeng, was being attacked by Utito, and then Hoto would also come in and run past. There was points where Frosla didn't even know Utama Keban, which was incredible in terms of planning. You saw it in the second half with the Pirates. Mfukeng went a little bit more quiet. That's when Abu Saleng came to life. Saleng even switched flanks. Saleng at some points would even come to the other side and overload Liena, right? That's what you want to see from games. That's what we argue about. That's what I cry about every day here. Good guys, can we have a plan where I can tell that you looked at the team throughout the week and you said, hey man, now I'm a weakness wabo. And this is how I'm going to attack them. And this is how I'm going to use my personnel in order to get into there. And I think Pirates did it incredibly well. You could also see Kevin Johnson's plan to a degree. Now, there are negatives. Negatively, Chiefs' defending is trash. Chiefs' defending is trash. They still don't know, our defensive midfielders, or our midfielders, still don't know when to be defensive, when to be attacking. There's the thing that Chiefs does where when we're playing the ball out from the back, there's no one from the midfield who makes themselves available. And we all complain about what? I man, you can't play 2 defensive midfield. Abeko, when they need to be there, Abeko. There's no one to play the secondary ball. And it's that thing I was speaking about last week. You run in, they run from the midfield, they hit the one pass back to the defender and they run back. Which way they're going, we don't know. But anyway, there's no midfield there. In as much as the front play had its moments, we still don't know how to attack. And a big thing about Kevin Johnson that I don't understand, and personally I don't like, right? The going gets tough. It's 2-1, it's 2-2, Pirates goes 3-2 up. At that moment, I'm looking to him to throw the kitchen sink. I'm looking at him to go, guys, Yazin, let's go try get this win. And I hate to reference him too much, but I want to harken back to something that Coach Rulani does. You see Sundowns when they go 2-0 down, 1-0 down. At some point, Sirino, Mendieta, Zbanban, everybody's on the pitch because he's trying to get the win. Kevin Johnson makes a like-for-like change. Takes out a right back, brings in another right back. Instead of maybe going, you know what? If I'm going to move Dupree to the wing, which also is something I don't understand. If I'm going to move Dupree to the wing, let me bring in Solomons in front of Frosla. Solomons can cross. Solomons is attacking. Solomons can take the pressure off of Dupree's. Then maybe Dupree's can carry on playing like a striker. Maybe we could capitalize on having that right-hand side and go hard at the team for the last few minutes, right? For example. But he does things that I don't understand, man. I don't understand. You see these guys here that play, you see that you're losing the game, but then you bring on Solomons at the same time you bring in Abongobo, who are going to hold the ball a lot in a time when you may not need that type of pressure. Jose, for this game, I'm going to give him credit. He did everything correctly as far as I can see it, right? But what I want to end off before I let everybody else in, what I want to end off with is very simple. Thank you to the players for showing up. Thank you to the players for showing a sense of hunger, a sense of want, a sense of, to please finish 2 goals. And they did all of those things. And I am so thankful to those players. But I want to make sure, and I want it to be that don't let it be just for the derby. When you play Chippa United tomorrow, play with the same intensity, the same plan, the same everything. When you play against the Royal AM, go out and perform. Pirates, you're now number 2. If not for some of the games at the beginning of the season where they were a little bit wonky, Pirates could be chasing Sundowns right now. They're number 2. So going forward, Pirates also, can we see that Pirates every day? Whether in stadium whether there's whether there's 80,000 people in the stadium or not, whether there's halftime shows, all of that stuff. Can we get those type of performances? Because the team you're chasing, it doesn't have all that, but they take every game seriously, or so it seems. So I'd like to just say thank you. Thank you to the players for coming out and giving us a game. Very good derby, one of the best derbies we have seen in ages. Okay, so I'm going to open up. Let me see who was here. So I can let them in. Mindlo, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm okay, my brother. How are you?
Man, why do you sound down? What's happening, Mindlo?
No, I'm okay. Nothing is happening, my brother. I'm well. I'm happy. I'm okay. All is good. All is good in the name of the Lord. I'm good.
What did you think of the derby?
Very exciting. Very exciting. I think it took us back what we know about the derby. One of the best derbies. 5-goal thriller. We were at the edge of our seats. It was a beautiful game. It was very exciting, and I wasn't expecting what I saw. But at some point, I did believe the Pirate is going to win. But I'm happy. I'm happy the way it went, and I even saw the starting 11 from Pirates. Though I was not convinced with Hoto being at the left back, but then I kind of thought maybe Jose knows what he's doing. Then there was Libito, who was our right back, who scored a beautiful goal. Then you could see okay, Chiefs wanted to win from the way they started the game and scoring in the first 10 minutes, but then I felt they took off their foot off the pedal because they went to halftime with 2-1, and they should have come back on the second with the same mentality the way they started. But somehow they allowed Pirates to come back. And if you also look at referees' decisions that also were very questionable,
Yeah,
it was kind of sad to see the way somewhere the tackles were made and the decisions. So I was even disappointed with the way the ref took charge of the matter, and someone did understand that he didn't want to spoil the game by giving an early red card and so forth and penalties. If you can look at Mart's tackle to Saling, I was so scared that he broke his foot. So OG, like I'm a bit short, but overall I'm happy with it. I'm happy the way it played out. Yeah, it was very exciting. Like the only concern I have was the ref, how he managed the game and the decision that he took. So they were questionable, but then at the end of the day, we got the 3 points. And going forward, yes, you made a point about the way Pirates played weekend. I wish they could play like that each and every single game, because if we can look at this if we can keep an open mind and look at this in open perspective mind. It's
Yeah.
Paris, one of the teams, the only team, if I'm not like putting it in the period, that could challenge Sundowns' dominance because of the players that we have, the depth that we have in our squad. Pirates
Okay.
could take on Sundowns. The problem is that we didn't start well, and like if we also had won 5 games in a row like Sundowns, we could be up there with them, compete with them. But then it's disappointing the way we started and how we play. That it's like we always want to chase Sundowns and always want to play for the second spot because we all want the league. Every team plays for the league. But what's happening is that we're always chasing Sundowns. And
Okay.
with the players that we have, you still ask yourself, how is that we cannot even compete? How is that we are number 2 with 20
For
games?
time,
and
I'm gonna
Sundowns
just have to
front of
jump
us
in there.
with 16 games, but still with a lot of points. You understand? So it's very disappointing. That's one that one point is very disappointing. But
Okay.
overall, pardon?
No, Mindlo, time, Mara, Mindlo.
Did you say something?
Time, Mindlo.
Oti?
Can you guys still hear me? Can everybody still hear me?
Mina ngikuzwa kahle, clear.
Hi, Mindlo. I'm gonna just have to cut
Yeah,
you off
my
there for a
network.
little bit for time.
Yeah.
Let me bring in Sean. Sean, welcome to the show. How are you?
Magami, I'm here. I'm here. How are you?
I'm good, guys. Wonky is a real word.
No, we know. I guess you're coming with Model C because you
Yeah,
play
man.
that.
Wabona ke. Ay, Mara, it's fine. Sean, what did you see from this derby?
You get 5 goals and then you come with English. No, me, I'm a bit disappointed, guys. You know, you watch Kaizer Chiefs and Pirates play, and the game is open. They're going at each other. Sundowns enters the room, all of a sudden, get a low block, or get a tackle is like wrestling. People are gladiators all of a sudden. But it was, I won't lie, guys. As a football person, it was a good derby. Not tactically, but the goals that they got, the vibe that the players came with. It was a good game to watch. It wasn't as boring as most derbies are for the past couple of years. So on that, I give it to you guys. My thing with this derby is Orlando Pirates conceded the same goal they conceded when they played against Cape Town Spurs. That first goal by Dupree. Again, it begs the question of you playing with 2 pivots. What's the purpose? But I feel like Libito still hasn't settled into the team. But that goal that he scored was a ridiculous one. There's nothing that Bavuma would have done, with that ball. It was a ridiculous goal. I feel like Mofokeng could have done a bit better for me. Could have done a bit better. I'm glad that we got to see Saleng play. And for me, it's gonna be very disheartening that the next game all of a sudden Saleng is on the bench. Or he might just mize us, and finesse us, play him the next game. The game after that, he puts him on the bench. Because I really think if it wasn't for Saleng, they would have lost. You understand? I truly believe if Saleng was not in that game, Orlando Pirates were going to lose that game. They were going to lose that game because there's no other player besides Mofokeng, but he's still young. You can't put this on him. But there's no other player in the team that can take a game, put on his shoulders like that. That goal that he scored, that's what we know Saleng for. Everybody knows Saleng will get the ball deep into the wide, into the wide side, and then he will cut in. If he doesn't, I thought he was going to curl it. Maybe that's what Bavuma thought, because he stayed in the middle. He thought maybe he was going to curl this ball, or I don't know if he thought he was going to lay it off to the left hand side, but he ended up taking a shot and that ball goes in. I think that ball was easily savable. I think Bavuma could have saved that ball if he had read that, and they would have put in. I mean, what's his name? The defenders did a good job in making sure that he doesn't go on the outside. I mean, he doesn't go on the inside. you know. But then you have to channel him out. Then if you're going to make sure if you're going to let him get into, you know, into the center, then you have to, you know, you have to chase him in there. You know, and nobody was putting pressure on the ball, so he got that shot out. You see. But besides that, I really think it was a good game. I think it is the game that belonged to your forwards. I don't think the midfield did anything exciting. I still don't understand why Mofuke why Tito got the man of the match. But I guys, me and Tito have this beef. I don't know why. I just don't see the hype.
What happened now?
No, it's okay, but I don't see the hype, and I'm gonna give him until next season. I'll see him proper next season. You know, if really there's this thing about Mosangani, you know, and I did it with Saling when I saw him at Swallows. He went to Paris, and then he was really good. I did it with Miami the first season at Sundowns, and then this season Miami is kind of disappointing. You know, so we will see, guys. It was a good derby. I won't lie. It was a good derby. We saw goals. We saw Dupree come, and somebody said this, man. He said Dupree is gonna come when he plays against Pirates. You know, he managed to score, guys. He managed to score, and those goals are really good goals. I won't lie. You know, on both feet. I think he scored on the left and the right. You know, imagine, guys. Imagine. You know, so it was really a good game to watch. It was a good spectacle to watch. I hope, like everybody else, that the next games are gonna be the same. You know, except for Paris, because they're playing in the Nedbank Cup. I hope if they get a PSL team after the Nedbank Cup, we're going to see a similar performance. You know, but the other one, we will see, guys.
Thank you, Sean. Let me go to CJ. CJ with the burner, how are you, my brother?
But Willy Wonka in the chocolate factory. Wonky. How are you, Mr.
Wonky, that's wonky, man. Tell me, CJ. Now I'm good. Tell me, CJ. What did you see from the derby, man? So man.
Listen, as much as I want to agree with you with that the excitement started from the lineup. I won't lie, I was a bit disappointed to see Quinica in the starting lineup. And I think maybe we need to get some sort of PSL coach management, team management to actually tell us what goes to picking the starting lineup. I really believe now more than ever that contracts play a huge role, because I really don't understand why you're moving Quinica from the right and playing him in a central position that he hasn't played the entire season. When we've got Njabulo Ngobo, who was playing as a central pairing for 4 games in a row. Already there's a chemistry between him and Msimango. Why mess it up? Knowing fully well that you are going to play a team that is going to be attacking you. So I don't understand why Quinica was in that lineup at all. He was worse from if he played him in the right, is demonstrated even being worse in that central midfield. If you look at that goal that came in, what a swing of a tackling. What was that nonsense? I wish he can write an SA and explain to me, what were you doing?
But then, CJ, before you move on, is it maybe a situation where they feel as though, for whatever reason, they feel that they are safer with Quinica there? Because it seems as though a lot of the coaches are like, Quinica is a boring player. And maybe you need one of those boring players who maybe won't step out of line. Is it maybe that type of thinking from the coaches?
What I don't understand is that you watched him against Swallows being turned over. He's a defender being turned over. I understood that, okay, he's more of a central player, but I would rather have Quinica play on the right and have someone else play on the left. Not to have Quinica play on the left-hand side. Why? Because his left foot is only good for standing. He makes tackles with his right foot. He runs with his right foot. Now you are playing him in the left-footed, and he becomes at a huge disadvantage. That is why he is making that silly swing of a foot that I don't understand what he's good at. But what I like about, then for me, you would have supposed to play Unjabulo Ngobo there and pair him with Msimango. They've already have chemistry. They've already have got a working relationship They've already demonstrated they can work together. Why don't you build from that? Just what I don't understand with Kevin Johnson. And secondly, surely you have watched previous games, Chiefs and Pirates. You saw how Blom dealt with Saleng and the entire striking force. Why don't you pick a number 6 that is able to do the same? Who was doing that? Who did it? You saw how Blom stopped Saleng. Tell me, between Mart and Castillo, whose responsibility was to do that? You can't. Either you take Riv and you play him as a 6, and you play Solomons as your 2. Because now it means that you've got a 6 that can mark and pass the ball with both feet. He can exploit both channels of the field. Why don't you do that? Because Riv can play a 6 role. He's a perfect pivot because he marks with both feet. He passes the ball with both feet. It does not take a genius to figure that out because you'll be facing an attacking-minded team.
Okay.
And now we are worried. Now we're seeing goals coming from the. Now you're seeing goals come from the center pocket. And you ask yourself, where's your number 6?
But are these not things that we're meant to? Are these not things that are meant to have answers already? Because this has been our cry for the whole season.
It's supposed to be. It's supposed to be. When they brought Ox, I thought, okay, now they've got a central midfielder, a defensive midfielder who possesses the same quality as Blom. Now they don't play him. They would rather have this silly quarter 8, quarter 6 playing in the field. And it's not working. You saw it. It's not working when what's this from failure for Bafana coach that came through, Unseki. You saw it didn't work with Unseki. Why are you continuing with it? Why are you continuing with half 6 and half 8s? It's not working. Clearly, Castillo is not a good half 6. Clearly, Mart is not a good half 6. We have seen that Castillo can play a beautiful 8. You chose between the two.
Okay.
Choose between the two. But unfortunately, listen, there's one thing that I loved. I loved the combination of Pule Modi and Dupreez.
Yeah.
Love the combination between Pule Modi, Dupreez, and Mtanzani. I loved it.
And we've seen it before, but anyway.
Nice movement of. Yeah, and I think Saleh is a more of an impact player than a player you start with. He tried Shem very well. He did create some sort of havoc in that right-hand side. I would have loved for them to start with Mponzane, but a fit Mponzane, a game fit Mponzane. Where is that boy? Can someone from Chiefs management give us an update? What is happening with Mponzane? In closing, Mr. OT.
Yeah.
You know what? Shame. Let me keep quiet. But other teams are so irrelevant. It's not even fun.
But we don't have time.
Listen. When Tepaswane retires, it's going to be like Great Keka. No one's going to care. You're not going to see him ever again. You're not going to see him. It's like Daniel Mambush. It's like he's going to join lineage of useless Sundowns legends.
Leave. Let me go to Belile Barasije. Belile Mtakama, how are you?
Ngeke kuhlale kunjena.
Wena masekucula wena.
Seka. Kanti uJehova usizwile. Bengicula lo qeda ukuphuma. Lo qeda ukuphuma. Because you can play the same clip half time on Saturday nala yaqeda ukuyidlala manje. Two totally different people. Ngeke usho nokuthi uye Nkosi yami.
But now, Belile, tell me, ucabanga ngedabi ngibone Hugo Bruce athi, this is the Tito that I want. This is the Tito that I want. Ngibone ngedabi mntakababa.
Bruce is another one who's confused. He said Tanzania will replace Thembazwane. Is the one confused old man, that one. So this card angimelanga umthathe serious. Bruce. No. Hey, but what a nice cutting razor, man, earlier on. You see, good, you try by all means as to fuck by abantu, but they don't want to talk about the team. They talk about us. Hey, we are so relevant, Pelatina. Like, we cut in razor for an hour. But people, they fight about. Hey, kumnandi Soweto.
Right, did.
Ask Kale Kaleni for admin side. Do you know there was a guy who was a referee called Petros Matabel?
Mm.
You know him?
Mm.
Do you know that guy once won a man of the match award as a referee?
No.
You don't know? Google, you will see. Was once won on a match. Serious, I'm serious. So I can see Ucheri Shaban is trying by all means to beat that record that Petros Matabel, only to find out later during the times about John Lela, he was investigated for fraud. They took that award back. Hey, I could see me South Africa. Ucheli Shaban, did you say as much as you can try by all means, man, go to your favor or what's that? You even try things that can say you cannot start a match while your goalkeeper is sleeping. Whether he's forcing it or he's faking an injury, there's no match that can start while the goalkeeper is sleeping down. You just rush and give Libito a yellow card for nothing. Who say he must throw? How can you throw the ball when the goalkeeper is down? I manabo cheli shaban na bonyaza. Abana
Ngakutshela
matko.
ngothi Lichabana ngithi we spoke about the rest before ukuthi asifuni bani nobani. Ungizamile shem yena.
Hayi bathi ngelwimi laleni abantu abalahlong man hayi bayitonhlula hayi okay no man first of all I have to agree with your statement initial statement like we have to thank the players and also the supporters that came to the venue. Hey, when took it, I once when Kalubana sometimes Kaizer Chiefs being outnumbered in all the department, even on the supporters. They won't see on Saturdays. So, but yeah, to my coach, a nice lineup. But I did say Gutu Dupree will come on the right hand side on Friday. Gutu Dupree, he will score because I know he get those chances. It's a matter of just him converting them into goals. So, and if you've got a player like that, if he can get maybe 5 chances like that and convert 2, it's better. He's a good player, and it's just he's been unlucky in terms of converting those chances. If Dupree did convert most of the chances that he received for Kaizer Chiefs maybe now it was supposed to go number 2 or number 3, maybe being again Kulumega with most. But I has must finish sometimes say a tactics and analytical, mathematical, what song is in must winning. We only care about the goals. So la yena ngiyamzwela ngilapho ngambambela, but coming to the pirate side nakhona also we have seen that uLibito now he's still not a right back. So if he's attacked, he tend to suffer also now. But he played a good role. Also taking into consideration he was his first derby, thrown into the deep hands and a beautiful goal scored. Did you see the technique that he took it against him? Okay, it's one of those attacking players because he used the laces just to put that ball there. But I still feel we still need a proper right back who's going to be able to help in terms of offensive and defensive. But the one thing that he mastered, he didn't try by all means to go forward. He allowed Saleng to move on that right flank side, and Bianga Kakulo to center yet. And also our middle fielder, Umakaula, sometimes you just need to take one for the team. The second goal being if he had just brought that player down at the center, because if you can see that move started from the center, and they were landed Umodi move and Wamuisa. If it's Modi or Mtanzan, I'm not quite sure or much. Yeah, Mtanzan. He should have brought him down. Take one for the team. There were players behind. Because already once they win that ball, you knew good they move, and there's all down or clock, 2 of defense because Uhoto has already moved forward. So it's gonna take him time also no limits on Besega move so you're gonna take them time to come back. Sometimes take one for the team, stop the play, you start again, we regroup and play. And
Maravelile, isn't that the problem in a team yakho yokuthi maybe the problem isn't that you don't have a left or right back. Isn't the problem ukuthi left no right back wenu ama winger whenever nje wabona when you sniff the ball ipola landlula nje ku halfway line and send a right back left back
they want to go for it. Yes, that's not a problem because if Mautola a team that can see most of that, that's where chances are you're getting exposed. If you look at even a game Yeah, Stellenbosch.
Yes, Stellenbosch.
Yeah, that we were leading 2-0, and up until Saya ended that win to a defeated 3-2. It was one of those things because players just get too much excited, they lose focus, they just move forward and leave two. And we know Guti, our central pair, they are very slow. They can be good in reading the game and just marking, but if they can get two players who are quick, bavela under pressure nje, and then yeah, you see. So also Mufokeng. Mufokeng, I think he needs to be told something, but you cannot always try to score. And sometimes you have to share the ball to a better position player. Because the tactic that he used, yes, sometimes he score the ball, but you know that tactics of killing the ball, coming from the left, cutting inside, and putting it in the far left corner of the goalkeeper. You can only do that if there is a player in front of you who disturb the vision that goalkeeper. If you can look at all those goals, whether Vinicius Junior when he play for Real Madrid, when he kills those goals, there is a player in front, or whether Umbab. But if there is no player in front of you and the goalkeeper has got a clear vision of you, albambeka lula. So you don't do that. Just pass. If there's a player in front, if there's no player in front of you, or strata vision that goalkeeper, then you won't do that. Because that's why it was easy to just catch that ball. But instead of just releasing Ayla to another player just to score. But so far the game was so good, man. Was so good, and yeah, it's Chabulil. We just hope we get good but we still need to fix our right back position. I don't know what and how do you have to try it, but I still think it still need to be fixed. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Hayi. Akababa
So nawe ngiyabona isikhathi esimawudliwe nje kulamala kakhulu mawuqala makubele kukhulume thina ngawe uvela ukukhuluma isikhathi eside kuqala.
Hayi man ngiyekele man ngijabulile man awu. Bemnandi.
You are allowed to go on and cry, my son.
Nazo.
Cry till your tears are done. And no cheeks broke. Your heart.
I don't listen to music from the 80s. Very but it's fine. Really, thank you. Thank you, Mtakababa. All I'll say is that Hugo Bruce said that is the Tito that I want. The Tito that I want. Guys, please follow if you have not followed. Pratabo, how are you?
Bayasaba magwala dubula. Hey, dubula bagajuj.
Kambe, Pagajuj, when they're happy, everybody sings. Tell me, Pratabo, we want to knock down. Hey, Mara.
How much are you paying? Yes, what me? Remember, say, mucho say, me come.
Hey.
All right. Mr. Uti, how's it? Yes. Yeah, no. Hey, next stadium, man. Get Mr. Uti, okay. Get on a live network, dollar. But then, yeah, we are here now. So, yeah, I was impressed. First things first. I'm like, South African supporters. What Mazanga is even of the match? Coach Mango. What like a leaner so? Okay, Sean, you're going to say something. Okay. But the way, from the Buccaneers, no. Guys, we did our thing. First time ever we outnumbered Kaizer Chiefs on the stand. That was very impressive, and I didn't expect that. And then, otherwise, good game. Chiefs, they tried. They played beyond expectation. The way I was thinking, because now Agia Stadium, not, but yeah, they came and then they scored first. I was like, yeah. We scored and then they scored. I was like, yeah, man, someone is going down. So I thought maybe they will see it through, but yeah, the football gods did what they do best. So otherwise, I know. I'm back in Jabuli. I was in Tabia Munyaka. I was in Tabia. Okay. Last week Tuesday. I'm like, yes. Karaoke, weekend.
So no worry, like number 7, number 2. So levels.
Don't
But
talk.
anyway.
Kopa uska bua ka table. Arui ka table on this show.
Hey, Mr. Oti.
Okay. Hey, let me bring it in. Bring him in. Malmakuto.
Mr. Oti ke khatsetse, Mr. Oti.
Ke baketse ke re me botlo kena ka pina ka bane mapirates a le thabile hey.
No, my legs are sore. Go bohloko dirope. Go bohloko menwana gale ke eme. I just got home from FNB. Utuba uthesimlilo, he's coming. Ay, re khathetse. Unini simile. Ewapha umfana omncane. Ningilindele Kellogg's. Ucoach wambeke bench notawo neyaphapha wena. Players have never been bench ukuthi yaphapha. Wangena, did he even touch the ball? I want to be out of order, man. Yes, he's struggling to get the game time with Chiefs of the Pirates. Ngaze ngayibona into nje. Yes, Mr. Oti, it was a good game. But your observation here, Mr. Oti.
Yeah.
When you watch ama signings the Pirates since German Shepherd, he actually looks like the current coach. He was just more stylish, I must say. Zimbabwe. Since the days of Zimbabwe, we've identified the type of fullback we want. Yeah, when interference, it's fine. When there's an actual structure, the fullback we sign will always be a winger at a lower team and come and be a fullback, Lago Pirates. And we've been trying. We tried Wade Yoster, we tried Craig Martin. You can see which it doesn't direct intention to sign a winger and convert that winger to a fullback, to attacking a fullback. Which is why we have Abolito, we have Abomnyane, Aboshandu. These are people who would be wingers elsewhere, but the Pirates have decided which they want this mold of a fullback. And going into his 6, there's another 6 that we're trying to get. So I like it, the fact that even they signed Uban Panoi. And when you look at Umbata, when I watch Umbata and Upano, I see something similar. They're trying to get an 8 that can balance both defensively and in attack. So I feel like the interference should be in that manner to say, we want a coach who can use these types of resources and we will get you these types of resources. Please excel in it. Exactly. Like Uhote was also a winger, and they're really trying to make him a fullback.
Makaring early in the season.
Makaring is a different story. Yeah, but short, it was tough.
Okay, but Maruko, before you move off of that point, is it not a I don't think your wingers, your wingers, your left fullbacks, I don't think they're a problem. I think the only issue is that man, not
even, Mr. Oti. You see, the problem now is get the center backs to understand what you're trying to do. Get the center backs to open up, to spread up if we are attacking, and have a CDM Yako a bit deep, but not too deep. Just form a triangle, the 2 center backs and the CDM. If we can get that, then any long ball, you are covered because the center back can easily cover that space. So once the system gets going, I feel like we'll be a well-oiled machine. You understand? And sometimes you can balance the numbers to say, Ninga hambi nonke, hambanga so. But one thing I'm impressed about is that the management has a system that they're trying to build. And they're trying to get the right coach for it. Now, our counterparts way too are struggling with that. You understand? They're signing players who are very different sometimes. And Okara a system that they're trying to build. You understand? The fact that they succumb to a pressure of signing Ox tells me that they don't have a plan. They just interfere with the coach's plan based on who's more handsome. You understand? the fact that they gave Ukwinika that contract, Mr. OT, says a lot. It's clear. It's clear that Ukwinika has a solid contract, and probably the contract, he got the contract because other teams were vying for him. And he could say, guys, if you want me to come, can you guarantee me game time? And if you say you can guarantee me, I don't know how this is a tongue twister for me, but if you can guarantee game time for me, put it on paper. And you can't risk a breach of contract now. The way Mumuva, it's not a bad defender by all accounts, but you can see, Tabo Shem, now I'm struggling to force, sorry. Why is he playing so much? He's being moved out. At some point, he's going to play as a 9. Oh, I understand that, Mr. Oti, because they're really trying to get him in there. So if Ichi's management can identify how they want to play, it's okay. We know. I feel like across the world, interference can thing. But if you want to interfere, just know how you want to interfere and sign the players that are going to interfere nicely. Young understand, Mr. And you can even sign all players. I just want to pass something about Umikel team being in the lineup. Against Cape Town Spurs, Umikel team comes in as a sub. K1-1. The first thing he does is have a go at Utabiso Munyana. He tells Umunyana to humble cover lap. Umunyana ngazo ya didizela lapho. It takes forever. Eventually, Umunyana jogs to where they want him to cover. But before Ifiga, they play a long ball to that very position. And Uteam has another go at him to say, cover lap. We are sloop. That's why they are attacking us with the position. So when you have a player like Miguel Team, it might not only be for tactical purposes, but also for him to relay the message to our player to say, let's keep focus, let's do this. The coach has instructed you to do. He's a leader in that team. He can remind our players what to do. And just like Brandon Peterson, he doesn't do it like calmly. He does it harshly to say, why so we needed him for Itabi just to keep our players focused. You understand that, Mr. Oti. Dupree finally came to the party. We've seen him with Stellenbosch. We've seen him get those chances, create those chances, and score. You understand that, Mr. Oti. So the fact that he missed that one-on-one was somewhat disappointing. And finally, with Derby, rose to the occasion and back to Mr. Oti. So my gaining energy is reserved for his Sundowns because they are out of order, Mr. Oti. We must remind them who are the teams in this country. Bangazo claim because Sundowns is the same age as the Chiefs, and they pretend as if they are 20 years younger than the Chiefs. No. Chiefs is more successful than the Sundowns from yesterday. Sundowns was not born yesterday or 6 years back when they started winning a league. And I like the fact that the coach is now planning on 1,000 passes. We've seen about Juventus winning league 7 times in a row. They can't smell it anymore. It happens. But back to the main game. Back to the main game. I
Final point,
Final point. I had an essay here, Mr. OT, but it's fine. One of the best things that happened to you Pirates, for me, in that derby game, was that final moment where Umufukeng was one-on-one with the keeper. I am happy he missed that chance because he's on an up and up. I'm scared because we don't have enough support. And how we sometimes don't know how to treat these superstars. So I feel like if Bengal Begenetin boy, he might have somehow become a problem. You know what I mean? He might have grown a sort of a big head nyan. So he ran Mr. OT with he missed that chance and we didn't lose. So it can be a learning. So I totally lay a bit of backlash from my fans which say, hey, when I pass the ball, you must learn how to pass. He needs that because just one more point, Mr. Oti.
So just because you're a breadwinner, I'll give you one more point.
Okay, to say when we conceded that goal, Saleng went and dropped into the midfield. I don't know why he did that. That's it. Thank you.
Okay. Prasafo. How did you see this derby? Prasafo, you can just unmute there. Okay, let me go to Prampo. Prampo?
Hola.
Prampo, we want to join derby.
Before wana greetings, Mama Winile, you understand?
Hey.
Okay, let's analyze the game. I'll start with Chiefs, because I support Chiefs. Like as a goalkeeper, you see danger far. That means you're the last man that you can read the game completely. The first we score, and when you score, what happened? You kind of like your adrenal.
Okay, I'm just, yeah, there we go.
Like automatically, when you score like that kind of game, the opponent will come pressing you. Understand? What do? You do what you call game management. You delay the game. You start playing back, building slowly, so that you can even fake the injury, so that you can reduce their momentum. You understand? But Chiefs, the problem started when McQuinnike and what do you call this other one?
Mansanti.
When I saw those people, I said we're gonna lose that game. You see that game as a defender, the striker must feel you. They must feel you. Okay, there's somebody next to me. What do? Man marking, zonal marking. Why would you make zonal marking? And the automatic our keeper, he was already in front of the penalty spot. You understand? When he returned back, automatically suddenly saw okay, this opportunity there is score. If you can check. And you can check again, there's in a midfield, Casillas and Marte. Which one who stand behind and other one we are copying? How far about matter everywhere? You understand? There's no one cover someone. I don't know how they told them to play. That's the problem that we're having. Chiefs were lacking the basics. The basics. And if you can ask yourself, Ngobo, why was not playing that game? That game you can see, okay, the only way to make Musalin was Kaya Gopil, Kaya Solomon. Solomon will push, you understand? Rather than once again, backline, over 2-2-2 of Alepin. We said, okay, get these two guys, Aya Gopil. Salin was saying, you're going to track back. And remember, on our side, what is my Sahil? Who was doing? Sahil is never going to track back. That's the other problem that you are having. Because when on the right hand side, it was freeway. Ibulele straight. They were attacking us non-stop because they can see, okay, these people, they read, okay, this one, they're comfortable with that ball. If it was me, that kind of game, we score one game, we manage a game. Rather than once again, once again, we reach the pace of the game. Sometimes, and again, I had initial rumors. They are said Motrauni, they're the one that give the coach that lineup that they were playing over the weekend. We don't know. And again, there is something that guys you notice. Chiefs, there is no discipline.
Yeah.
Peterson, what was doing there?
Yeah.
Peterson, what was doing there?
Yeah.
He was supposed to sit down. Because now, like if a coach will lose dressing room, you're never gonna do anything, believe me. Because now he tried to defend, you have to spin, okay, the brain. That one is different, man. That's a different player, you understand? And okay, if you can check Peterson, most of the time, he was the one that telling the players what to do. What the main purpose of the coach? If you can check Dylan Shepard, it seems like he's the one that is coaching the coach. He got an earpiece. He listens the message. He gives instruction. If like the truth, that is true. Maybe Chiefs, the management, they are betting. Maybe they are betting, maybe, with the Chiefs, so that they can lose. What are you going to say that, Because like as a supporters, when you check the whole game, that game yesterday, weekend, that was opportunity for us to beat Paris straightforward. But what they're doing, Quinika, I don't know, can even read the game. Even the second game, the same ball. What is supposed to be? What Tempo? You and me, we don't play professional. What's a player umlata, umpressa, ana options. Just get that ball. That guy, if he can look, okay, where can I cross the ball? He can pick the spot. But you got how many defenders in front of him? 4 defenders. What are they
Yeah.
doing? No, like a Chiefs size again. There's a problem seriously. I don't know where can we fix it because even the players, they're not confident in themselves. How rough. How rough. Chiefs re ratile wa itse ke I go lo guy divorce wa itse ke ai da re
Okay, Propo. Re tla reng, Propo? No, thank you, Propo. Let me bring in Ushugela. Sugar, how are you? You can just unmute the Sugar. Our Sugar doesn't want to unmute. Guys, if you have not followed, please follow. The Peterson issue, I actually want to make it a conversation that I want to have sometime this week where we speak about players, discipline among players, and things like that. There's a conversation I want to have about this, so I don't want to go too deeply. Guys, the frustrating thing is that a lot of these things that we're raising today are things that we've spoken about over and over and over again. It's not the first time this season we've said that the right and left backs at Pirates are wingers, they're not quite comfortable, the CDM doesn't know when to make it a 3 and things like that. We've spoken about it, Chiefs and its defense. There are a lot of things that I'm trying to be positive today in saying that the derby was a good game. At least it was exciting. But there are things, man, that you pointed. Uprampo spoke right now about the zonal marking. I was laughing on the weekend saying that, but guys, how do you mark zonally for the third game? How do you mark zonally when there's one player in front of you? How do you allow the space between the defense and the midfield when Santi's got the ball for the second goal? And now Santi, instead of clearing the ball, he just decides that, no, we're going to try play an impossible pass. Just take it out. You know, there's certain things that Chiefs does that I don't understand. Chiefs needs experienced coach and experienced technical staff. At this point, I don't even know if it's that, guys. I don't even know if it's that. I think we just need an overhaul. You know, Gavin Hunt said a very nice thing when he was still the Chiefs coach, but it was in an interview afterwards, like after his Chiefs time. He said, I told management that we need a change. Some of the players need to leave. My feeling about the Kaizer Chiefs is that dynamic of the dressing room versus the coach, I think that dynamic is off. And I think the Chiefs players, whether it be the newer ones or the older ones, man, Bakena with an idea different to what the coach does, and they understand that the coach is going to be fired before we do, you know? I do blame Coach Johnson, and I've said this about Coach Johnson plenty of times, that end of the game, game management, how you change the game, why you're making subs, why you're bringing people on, that's very important to me. I'll repeat again. Your most dangerous player on the day is Utupris. He's got 2 goals. He's been giving the Pirates defense troubles all day long. Why move him to the wing? Because not only are you going to mess with Utupris, who's been playing striker very well, now he has to go to winger, he's also tired. So that means that whoever he is backing up is not going to get the same backup you would get with a fresh player. We saw the same move when Gonzalez was playing right wing back versus Sundowns towards the end of the game, where Sundowns came back to make it 1-1. And that was under Unseki. So there's things, man, at Kaizer Chiefs that I'm not understanding why he makes certain changes. What else Duba meant to do on the pitch? What was Ngobo meant to do on the pitch? If you're still going to play a wide game, rather bring in Solomons to be in front of Frosler so that Dupreez can play as the second striker. You've got the energy from Solomons that might keep the left back behind. But there's things, man, tactical things that are basic. Besides the Chiefs players, to end this off, they also get on my nerves because At what point do you guys on the pitch say, when are we going to learn from our problems? I think Castillo, when he came, when I'm seeing somebody say Castillo, when Castillo arrived, guys, Castillo was one of the best sixes I have seen. Remember the game he played versus Sundowns. He made the one mistake for the goal. But remember how in control and everything he was when he was sitting. You could tell that there was instruction that was given. Ever since those games, you find our midfielders running all over the place. When we need them at the back, abeko. When we need them up front to support, abeko. So tell me, what does Martin and Castillo do all day? And what is the instruction? I think I'm more worried about the coach's instruction. Unseki had our two midfielders playing as left and right back covers. Right? Left and right back covers. At no point have we ever had a game where we've played centrally. Guys, have you ever noticed that? So what is it that is happening at Kaizer Chiefs that keeps informing this? Because I see the same mistakes that we've been seeing for years. Quinica at some points was responsible for some goals we conceded last season and maybe in the beginning of the season. Still gets game time. Mart, we speak about Mart a lot. Still gets game time. Dolly gets time to come into the team and come out of the team. Klanti, we've seen all of these things before. So if Zwan is not going to change it, if Ntseki is not going to change it, if Coach Kevin Johnson is not going to change it, who's going to come in and change it, guys? Who's going to come in and change it? But anyway, I want to stick to this. It was an open game. I like that it was an open game. I like that the two teams went at each other. I like the fact that you could see some, at least initial planning from the two teams. I like that it was exciting. I like to see players running around and doing a lot and showing a lot of respect to the badges. That's what you need. But to close off from my side, very simple. I need to see this every single game from now on. Wabona, Pirates has played 20 games. The last 10 games, Pirates must play like this. Chiefs has the last 10 games of theirs. They must play like this. We don't want to see people taking a backseat versus Chippa United. No disrespect for Chippa. We don't want to see them sitting back and not taking responsibility. We don't want to see them trying to show us that we want to win games. Guys, we've watched so many games with Pirates and Chiefs this year where they didn't want to win, where you could tell that none of the players were there. So for me, I am happy that they showed a little bit of commitment. But the question still remains, can you show that commitment when there isn't 80,000 fans? When there isn't a build-up of a derby? When there isn't the president sitting in the suites? You know, when there isn't Hugo Pruspo Mangma, when there isn't all that stuff, can you do that? And that is what is going to be the question for Pirates and Chiefs. Derby is only 6 points. Pirates has all 6, but Derby is only 6 points. You need to get your points elsewhere as well, and you need to show that you are here and awake for all of those games. There's no use playing well versus Chiefs in a Soweto derby, but then not being able to carry it out versus Joanne. It's not good enough to be able to play hard and score goals versus Pirates, but you're not able to do it versus Royal AM. That's what I want to see from these players. Anthony Dupreez must finish in Rikwala, the same way that he finished at FNP. But anyway, guys, I don't want to take it too long. Tomorrow we're going to be watching the match that Sundowns is playing, 7:30. If you have not followed, please follow. The show is usually on 7 p.m. Monday to Thursday. Fridays 12:30. But if there's a watch along, we start at 7:30. So please join me again here. Thank you to everybody that watched. Thank you to those that gifted me. And thank you to the people who are watching on YouTube and to the commenters. Guys, I know there's a lot of people in the queue that wanted to get in. We'll continue these topics as we go along. There is a topic that I want to speak about this week that is going to do with player discipline, but more to do with, you see Peterson shouting at the coach. What do we expect of that? Are we saying that it's a good thing? Are we saying that's a bad thing? Do they understand the repercussions? Are we asking for them to be a little bit more mature, more disciplined? What does that say about our coaches standing within their own dressing rooms? You know, I want to have conversations about that, but tomorrow we're going to have the watch along. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you then tomorrow at 7:30 for the Sundowns game. Bye, guys. Why did you beat up Johnson and Johnson? No, I haven't beaten up anyone, Nkabits. Only with my words.